Lemon the Pug and the Frog Night Concert. One warm summer evening, Lemon was almost asleep in his little doghouse. The crickets were chirping softly. The breeze gently moved the grass. The moon glowed peacefully above the farm. "What a quiet night!" Lemon yawned. And then suddenly, "Croak! BRROOOM-CROAK! Croak, croak, croak!" Lemon jumped so hard he almost rolled out of bed. "What was that?" Clementine sat calmly on the fence, washing her paw. "Oh, that? Frogs." "Frogs? Frogs sound like that? I thought a tractor exploded." "They're having a concert," Clementine said casually. "A concert? Down by the pond. Happens every summer." And then again, "Croak!" Lemon blinked. "Wait, did frogs start a rock band?" Of course, after that, there was no chance of sleeping. So Lemon and Clementine walked toward the pond. And the closer they got, the louder it became. "Croak, croak, croak, BRROOOM-CROAK." Lemon whispered nervously, "Do they at least sell tickets?" Near the water sat dozens of frogs. Tiny frogs, big frogs, green frogs, very green frogs. And one especially chunky frog sat proudly on a rock like the lead singer of the entire swamp. He puffed out his cheeks and sang loudly, "I'm the swamp superstar. My voice is loud like thunder. When I croak in the middle of the night, the whole town jumps from slumber." All the frogs screamed, "Croak!" Lemon slowly sat down. "They actually sing songs?" "Obviously," Clementine said. "This is a professional frog festival." Then a tiny little frog hopped onto a lily pad. She cleared her throat dramatically and sang in a squeaky voice, "I'm a tiny froggy girl. Warm water is my dream. I do not like storks at all, or rainy weather scenes." Clementine nodded seriously. "Very emotional performance." Suddenly, a sporty-looking frog jumped forward. He bounced twice and proudly shouted, "Croak, croak, croak! I'm champion king! I jump higher than everything. Yesterday I jumped across a log. Well, almost fell into a burdock." The entire pond exploded with laughter. "Croak! Ha 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 ha!" One frog laughed so hard he fell straight off his lily pad. Sploosh! Then all the frogs formed a choir. The night air filled with swamp music. "Croak, croak, croak, we are nighttime singers. We love water, worms, mosquitoes, and squiggly wiggly wriggles." Lemon laughed so hard he nearly rolled into the pond. "They really love mosquitoes." For frogs, that's gourmet food, Clementine explained. Then the oldest frog slowly climbed onto the rock. He looked so serious that even the crickets stopped chirping. And then, in a deep, croaky voice, he sang, "We frogs are the nighttime musicians. The pond is our concert hall. To some it sounds like croak, 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 but for us it's a festival." And suddenly every frog shouted together, "Croak!" Lemon lay down in the grass and looked at the moon. "You know, at first I thought this was terrifying noise." "And now?" Clementine asked. Lemon smiled. "Now it's the funniest concert I've ever heard." And right at that moment, the chunky frog screamed again, "Broom! Croak!" Ripples spread across the pond. Clementine yawned. "Sounds like the second concert set is starting." Lemon giggled. "Then we definitely have to stay." Sometimes what sounds like noisy chaos at night turns out to be somebody's very happy concert. The end.